This path right here goes up to the park. Right now we are on park property, but here's our other half of our fence. I mean, look, I have private property signs right there. I think somebody put a pooper. Yo, hey, where are you from? Checked, we have 1 out of like 6 no trespassing signs, private property signs that are left. There's kids snowboarding right there. We got ourselves a couch, looks like from the old Plymouth minivan. I can't believe this right now. This is like bad, dude.
Trespassing on private property. The issue of trespassing and unauthorized construction in private property is a growing concern for many landowners. In this particular case, the landowner, who is an avid hunter, is facing repeated instances of people encroaching on his property, which is adjacent to a public park. The situation is further complicated by the fact that the property is close to a public pathway, making it more accessible and prone to trespassing. The landowner has made significant efforts to deter trespassers, including putting up fences and private property signs. However, he discovers that these measures have been blatantly disregarded and even vandalized. The signs are either torn down or damaged, and the fence is ripped apart, indicating a deliberate act of disrespect and vandalism. This destruction is not only a violation of his property rights, but also poses a safety risk, especially considering his hunting activities. The landowner is shocked to find that trespassers have built structures on his property. On inspection, he discovers what appears to be a makeshift fort or shelter, complete with car seats and a boat cover for roofing. This discovery is alarming as it suggests a level of permanence and comfort with the trespassing, far beyond just walking through the property.
This path right here goes up to the park. Right now we are on park property, but 1 year later, this is the first time I'm checking it out. If you guys don't know, I've been living in Nebraska to help some YouTubers. Here's our other half of our fence. I mean, look, I have private property signs right there. I think somebody put a pooper. You could tell too, look at this. This is what I love about people. Do you see it? Look at this. You see that? Bro took aluminum, but I mean, look at that.
I thought we put up like 4 no trespassing
We did put up
signs.
4 no trespassing signs.
The landowner's frustration is compounded by his absence from the state due to work commitments in Nebraska, which has made it difficult for him to monitor the situation regularly. Upon his return, he is confronted with the extent of the trespassing and unauthorized building activities. Legal action, such as prosecuting the trespassers, is a consideration, but the landowner seems to lean towards the notion that this ongoing issue is rooted in ignorance and a lack of respect for private property boundaries. This situation raises important questions about the effectiveness of signage and physical barriers in preventing trespassing, the responsibilities of landowners in protecting their property, and the actions that can be taken against persistent trespassers.
And it's a huge liability. Where I am standing right now, no, it is not owned by me. Here and watch over these woods. I've known them since I could walk. I've always taken care of their backyards. Yo, hey, where are you from? I'm not here just doing this for the heck of it. I'm literally trying to get this under control. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put out live
Property trespassing dilemma. In this detailed narrative, we encounter a landowner dealing with persistent and escalating issues of trespassing on his property, which is adjacent to public woods. This situation highlights the complexities and challenges that private property owners often face when their land borders public spaces. The property owner, an avid hunter, has set up a tree stand for hunting in the woods, which he partially owns along with his neighbors. He has been granted permission by his neighbors to monitor and watch over those woods due to his frequent presence and long-standing relationships with them. The story begins with a shocking discovery. The landowner finds that not only has his fence been torn down, but there is also a makeshift structure resembling a mini house on his property. This structure, crudely fashioned out of materials like a couch from an old Plymouth minivan and a ladder leading to an upper deck, indicates a significant level of intrusion and violation of his property rights. The presence of such a structure is not just an act of trespassing, but also suggests a brazen level of comfort and establishment by the trespassers.
At this point, I think it's just ignorance. I mean, there's a fence there. So before I understood, like you think it's
Something.
bro.
A ladder and everything.
There's car seats and everything. Should I put a trail camera on this thing? People are probably gonna be commenting like, "Oh, how are you not back there in the sun?" We got ourselves a couch. Looks like from the old Plymouth minivan.
While attempting to document this situation for his audience, the landowner encounters kids snowboarding nearby. Approaching them, he learns that they are local residents. Despite his frustration, he chooses not to be overly harsh with them, recognizing their youth and their intention to simply enjoy a snow day. However, he advises them to use the nearby public park for their activities, highlighting his concern about liability and the impact on his hunting. The landowner's dilemma is exacerbated by the fact that most of his no trespassing signs have been removed, leaving only 1 out of 6. This act of removing the signs is a clear indication of the disregard for his property rights and adds to the challenge of protecting his land. He acknowledges that while he would like to allow kids to play in the woods, the liability issues and the potential disruption to hunting activities makes it unfeasible. Further complicating the situation is the ongoing problem of theft in the area. The landowner suspects that the materials used to build the fort-like structure on his property were stolen from his neighbor's property. This suspicion is based on his familiarity with the local area and the resources available there. The landowner emphasizes that he does not own all the woods, but only a portion of it, in collaboration with his neighbors. His responsibility to watch over these woods has been long-standing, dating back to his childhood. This role has become increasingly challenging due to the trespassing and theft issues. In decision, this situation sheds light on the difficulties faced by private property owners, especially those whose land borders public areas. It underscores the need for respect for property rights, the challenges in enforcing these rights, and the delicate balance between allowing public access and protecting private property. The landowner's experience is a testament to the ongoing struggle to maintain this balance, ensure security, and uphold the sanctity of private property.
Dude, you know where that ladder's from? You remember that ladder? We were gonna use that for one of our tree stands.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe this right now. This is like bad, dude. What the? Dude, there's literally kids back here right now.
Let's go wish them a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Hey, where are you from? Like, do you live around here?
Chronic trespassing struggles. The issue at hand revolves around a property owner's struggle with trespassers on his land, a situation that is far from uncommon for many landowners, particularly those whose properties are adjacent to public areas like parks or residential apartments. In this specific case, the property owner is dealing with the challenge of managing a 40-acre tract of land near residential apartments and parks, making it a magnet for unauthorized visitors. The landowner, committed to resolving the issue, decides to install live trail cameras that can take videos. This step is essential for gathering definitive proof of trespassing, a key requirement for any legal action. He explains the complexity of prosecuting trespassers, highlighting the need for concrete evidence and the difficulty of getting the police involved at the right moment. Addressing suggestions from his audience, he explains why he hasn't approached the Game and Fish Department or the Department of Natural Resources. His decision stems from the fact that the trespassing issue is related to park property, and he believes that the park authorities should be responsible for marking the boundary between the park and his private property. In other parks he has visited, there are clear signs indicating the separation of public park land from private property, and he expects a similar approach to be taken here. Despite his efforts, including putting up a fence and his own signs, the trespassing continues unabated. He feels somewhat resigned, acknowledging that the proximity of his land to public spaces makes it almost impossible to completely stop the trespassing.
There's kids snowboarding right there. Hey, buddy. Checked, we have 1 out of like 6 no trespassing signs, private property signs that are left. You know, he was young. He was too young to be prosecuted, as well as he's just out here on a snow day trying to have fun.
He notes that some of the trespassers are harmless, like kids enjoying a snow day, but he is also concerned about poachers and other individuals who might be using his land for illegal activities. In one particular instance, he discovers a makeshift house on his property, which he suspects might be used as a deer blind, or worse, a spot for drinking and smoking. This discovery is particularly troubling, as it suggests a level of comfort and regularity in the use of his property by trespassers. The property owner contemplates taking a more proactive approach, such as personally confronting trespassers from his tree stand, not to harass them, but to assert his property rights and possibly deter future trespassing. He recognizes that while some trespassers are just kids having fun, others are engaging in activities that could be harmful or illegal. In the meantime, he plans to use trail cameras connected to his phone to monitor the situation, especially since he has to travel back and forth between Nebraska and Ohio. He invites his audience to stay tuned for updates and shares his immediate plans to go hunting, hoping for a successful outing. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.